Sometimes you'll feel like you're being used. You'll want to lash out at the world and curse at strangers just because they happen to be standing right in front of you when you turned. Sometimes it will wake you out of your bed and yell for help, and your senses won't be ready for it. But you'll rub your eyes, scratch your head, drag your hands across your face, utter inaudible sounds, but you'll respond. And at first, it will be because you know it's the right thing to do. But after a while, it will feel like a part of your day. And when you don't do it, everything will stop, take a back seat, hang on the hinges until you do it. It will consume you and your day. You won't like it so much one day because it will take all of your patience to do it. And there will be no rewards, no accolades, no parties or pats on the back. People who don't know you now won't know you 2 years from now. You won't get promoted on the job or a pay raise. You won't get preferential seating at the theaters, restaurants, clubs, or events. Your name will not be revered in the newspapers, magazines, web, not anywhere. Your checker at the grocery store or the person that does your hair, nails, or dry cleaning, if you got it that way, they won't treat you any better or worse because you did it today, yesterday, or will be doing it again tonight. There's going to come a time when you're going to wonder if it's worth all your effort, and you're going to want to stop. And when you stop, the guilt will begin to eat at you, and then the shame. And the crazy part for you will be is that it's all coming from you because you said you didn't want anybody to know. But was that really a smart choice? So you'll rethink your last decision and realize that maybe if you stop asking questions that you know the answers to, stop worrying about whether or not it's worth it, stop listening to the complaints of others who aren't doing it and promise to do it but never do, maybe you can stop falling into the pitfalls of people who fail to understand why you do what you do. Charity, it's not for everyone. Once upon a time when I was naive, I believed in fairy tales. I believed there were monsters under my bed. I believed if you rubbed two pennies together, your wish would come true. I believed that when my girlfriend and I cut our thumbs and squished our blood together, that made us sisters. Once upon a time when I was still fresh out the gate in the world of being a young adult, a teen, I believed if I closed my eyes when a boy kissed me that it meant he loved me. I believed that friends didn't turn their backs on you. I believed every word from my parents' mouth was the truth. I believed that chocolate was an aphrodisiac. I believed that if you said green witch in the bathroom mirror 3 times in the dark, that she would appear. I believed if I got up early and did my chores and homework on Saturdays, I could go out early. I believed if I tried hard and remained consistent, it would pay off. Still kind of waiting on that to happen. For some, but not for everybody. Once upon a time when I was blinded by the stories of success and wealth, fame and riches, I believed I could get a piece of that action if I was in the right place at the right time, standing in the right spot, wearing the right clothes, leaning the right way, with the setting sun hitting me at just the right angle. I would be seen and discovered by the right person who would just so happen to be a wealthy producer and become immediately enamored with my presence and would approach me with an offer I couldn't refuse. Whisk me away in his limo and I will become all those wonderful things we all wish for and live happily ever after. This little girl grew up in a big family with no money and very little hopes of ever being more than what she was. She grasped on to every good dream, wish, and happy fairy tale she could to escape the horrors of life in the ghetto and live someplace shiny and free. But the fairy tale with a happy ending? I live in a world, the real world, and until I take my last breath, it's always going to be once upon a time. There we are again. So now I want to read you this one letter that I wrote to my dad. It's part of my book, Excerpts from My Resume, and it's entitled, Dear Daddy. Dear Daddy, I'm writing you this letter because I want to tell you about all the things that we have done and will never get to do. I'm sorry that you and Mom got divorced when I was so very young. Too young to understand that's the whys and the whats of your separation. So I grew up believing that's what families did. I miss that you weren't there for my first day of school, my first scraped knee, my first party dress, my first dance, my first kiss. I miss that you weren't there for my first broken heart, my first tears of pain. I miss that you weren't there for my high school graduation, my first real love, my wedding, walking me down the aisle, kissing me on the cheek, the traditions of our culture. I'm sorry you missed the birth of my first grandchild and her first steps. I miss that you didn't get to look into her eyes and see the generations of love and family yet to come. I miss that we didn't have play dates, movie nights, game nights, and financial advice. Stories about my grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, your time in the military, and the friends you made over the years. All the family reunions I missed with all the pictures taken to capture all those moments in time that you can never get back, cherished for always. We will never get to hold each other again. We will never be able to look each other in the eye and see the resemblance in each other's face. How my lip curls like yours when I smile and how your eyebrow arches when you're upset. We will never get to hold hands and take long walks in the park on a fall day and then stop for hot chocolate while I regale you with stories of your grandchildren, my husband, my job, and friends. I will never get to long for the day when you will be at home with Mom and one day as my family and I make an impromptu visit with kids in tow because that's just what we do. I miss All the vacations we didn't have, the picnics, the bike rides and snowball fights, camping in the backyard, the tickle torture. When I finish writing this letter, Daddy, and I seal it with a kiss, as I pretend I'm kissing the rough whiskers on your cheek because I've always imagined you with a 5 o'clock shadow all the time, I will fold it gently, slip it into an envelope, and put it away. Because nothing can take away the hurt I feel some days knowing that I would gladly have you every other weekend than not at all. That was to my dad. And that is part of my book that I've been trying to write and publish for so long called Excerpts from My Resume. But I've eliminated the middleman and the men on the beginning and the end. And I have my own website, and it's called mamayaya.wixsite.com// my website. And you can go on there anytime and you can read all the poetry that I have to share. Watch my videos that I have made on helping you become a published